If I owned this, I would get horrible gas mileage because this is what I would do. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's going to be reviewing a Jaguar F-Type. Now the reason I wanted to review this specific F-Type is because it's first a convertible, which I've never reviewed a convertible before, and it also has the V6 powertrain. First and foremost, so a huge shout out and thank you to the Jaguar here in Lehi, Utah for giving me some time with this F-Type. This one is available for sale if you're interested. Check out the inventory in the description down below. They also sell the new Jaguar and Land Rover product with no markup over MSRP. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into the video. So we have a supercharged 3-liter V6 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It's good for 380 horsepower and then 339 pound-feet of torque, which gives this a 0 to 60 time of 4.9 seconds. Now let's go over the front end of the F-Type. So just like other F-Type models, you have the cool little accent pieces here on either side of the hood. And yeah, I mean, are you a real sports car if you don't have venting on the hood, right? Anyways, coming down below, you guys can see with the daytime running lights, looks super sharp with the new body style. And we do have parking sensors integrated here into the front end. And notice how everything's pretty much darker in coloration to kind of go with a sportier theme. And we have our Jaguar logo and then our R-Dynamic badge there off to the side, and then you guys can see here with the front spoiler all blacked out, and yeah, looks really cool. So coming on the side here, we've got two 55mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the front, and then two 95mm tires wrapped around 20-inch wheels in the rear. And you guys can see they've gone for a 5-spoke design with this car. I love the silver finish on it. And then we have the giant red brake caliper, and those rotors are actually really large. Notice we've got another accent piece here with the Jaguar logo, and then we've got the two-tone mirrors with the white on the top, the black on the bottom, pop-out door handles in normal F-Type fashion. And you know what? I think the convertible actually looks pretty good. I'm not usually a fan of convertibles, but this actually looks really nice. So here's our key fob here. You can see Jaguar logo. You've got your unlock, your lock function, that's for the lights, and then this is to open up the rear trunk area, which is not nearly as practical as the regular F-Type, because the regular F-Type, it's not a convertible, you know, has the whole hatch situation, whereas this, you know, doesn't have nearly as much storage space. But you know, you gotta pay to play the convertible game. It's typically how it rolls. And then when you're all done, just plop that back down. Now let's finish things off with the rest of the rear. So you can see we've got these signature F-Type taillights here on the back. We have our P380 all-wheel drive badge here, and then notice with the center mounted exhaust tips, that looks really cool actually. Jaguar logo there on the top, and yeah, there you go. Now here's the front door panel. You can see we've got really nice leather here at the top with the red stitching, and then we have red leather down below, but it has more red stitching, it's not black stitching. Anyways, we've got a bunch of seat adjustments here on the door panel, memory seat functionality, 3 different settings, blind spot monitoring for the mirrors, and then here are the front seats. Look at that design here at the top, they look fantastic, as you can see. And then notice here with the pedal layout down below, and we got some controls for like opening the trunk, lane departure, lights, steering wheel is power adjustable. Let's pop in. Now here is the steering wheel for the F-Type. You can see really nice leather trim all around, and then notice here with the stitching on the center portion. And we've got stuff like our cruise control, for example, voice command, phone controls, all the practical stuff. Paddle shifters here on the back for the 8-speed automatic. We have our turn signal / light stock, windshield wiper stock, all the normal works. Full digital gauge cluster here, as you can see, which makes this look a whole lot more modern compared to the previous generation F-Type. But yeah, overall looks cool from an aesthetic perspective. You can scroll through some different menus here within the gauge cluster itself, and well, that's all she wrote. In normal F-Type fashion, you do have the vents that pop out of the dash, like this whole panel pops up, which is pretty cool. And then look at the material use here on the dash, the stitching and everything, again, very high quality. And well, there we go, now the infotainment system will pop up. If we pop it into reverse, we do have a backup camera with trajectory lines that turn with the steering wheel. You guys can probably hear the parking sensors as well. Now as for the rest of the infotainment system, first off, you got like the shortcut bar here at the bottom, which definitely helps out. Response time with the screen overall is really solid. It does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and Valet as well. And then you've got your dynamic, well, I've got to be in dynamic mode to go into that, so we'll pop it into dynamic mode. So it lets you set up the whole dynamic mode from a drive mode perspective, which is pretty cool. And if you guys are wondering, we have dynamic, and then we have our normal mode, and then we also have our snow mode as well. And so, yeah, main mode you're probably gonna drive this in though is gonna be probably dynamic. Now we've got the trick climate controls down below, so you press this and that lets you adjust the seats, so you can turn on the heated or cooled seat functionality. And then you've got the temperature right there, and then you got the fan speed in the center. And we have a bunch of little switches right here, which look pretty cool for the climate system. And then we've got the shifter for the 8-speed automatic drive mode select. And then that is for the radio. Parking brake here, this is for the exhaust to make it louder or quieter. And then you've got your stability control, auto stop start, that's for the spoiler to raise it. And then this is for the convertible top. We'll do that in a second so you guys can see what this looks like. The top off. And then you have like your cup holder thing here. We have a center console. And then we have a little cargo net here. They like really tried to go hard at the storage space. And then notice here with the glove box, again, the dash material is really nice. Like it just looks really high end. Anyways, as for the top, so you just pull this. Did I just do it the wrong way? Yes, I did. We're gonna leave that in because that's hilarious. You push it rather, you pull it to bring the top back up. This is super fast, wow. Wow. That's crazy. That was like less than 10 seconds, I swear. That was really quick. Now here is what the F-Type looks like with the top down. Now I'm not gonna be doing the drive with the top down because it has been raining on and off all day today, and I don't wanna get that beautiful red interior completely soaked with water. But yeah, this thing looks so cool. Let me tell you, that is such a cool look. Anyways, let's see how quick the top is. Actually, I wanna hear what the exhaust sounds like from inside with the top down quickly. I'm gonna give it some revs. I think I had the valves open. Oh, no I didn't. That sounds pretty cool. Anyways, now let's do this the correct way. So let's put it back up. That's so quick. I'm used to having to like wait the longest time ever. That is ridiculously fast. Anyways, with that being said, let's take this out and drive it. If you want the most up-to-date pricing, Jaguar and Lehigh's website in the description down below. Let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood. Both the mirrors are blind spot monitoring. Both the rest of the rear. And let's set off. So setting off in the V6 F-Type, and I have never driven a V6 F-Type. I've actually only driven the R and the SVR. Yeah, I know. Again, that's just how I roll. For some reason, whenever it comes to high performance vehicles or vehicles with high performance packages, I always end up reviewing the craziest version of a car, and then later down the road I get to review the, you know, quote unquote less crazy version of the car. I don't know why it works out that way, but it just happens to work out that way. And also, again, first time reviewing the convertible. Again, I'd love to have the top down, but I don't want to risk it raining in here. And I'm actually going to close the valves. See kind of how that sounds with the valves closed. Yeah, really quiet with it closed, actually. Yeah, that's nice. I mean, obviously you don't get that V8 rumble, which sounds really good, but I mean, from a daily driver perspective, it's nice having it closed. Now I'm gonna open it up because I like the sound. I'm also gonna pop it into dynamic as well. Yeah, the F-Type's so solid from a handling perspective. It stays nice and flat, but it's also very smooth. It's kind of like this nice in between where it's very smooth and comfortable, but then it does feel like it just is on rails pretty much. Now we're gonna go over here because, well, that's a slow brew and we've got 380 horsepower. Oh my goodness, did you hear that? The pops out the back. Let's pop it in manual mode. Or that's a sport shift mode, so it's not manual yet. And the thing that's funny is the V8 F-Type doesn't do this anymore because of emissions restrictions and everything. Oh, that is just glorious. That is such a beautiful sound. This transmission's so snappy. Honestly, this sounds so cool that I just like, I can't focus on anything else. And I get it, the V8 is such a nice sound, but the V8 doesn't make the popples, and that's like what the F-Type's all about, is the pops. Man, this is such a cool car. I love this interior too, it's so nice. Yeah, we should be good. That's a minivan, we'll be fine. We got more than enough space. If I owned this, I would get horrible gas mileage because this is what I would do. That's literally all I would do driving the car. And so I would turn like, I would go through so much gas in this. And the intake noise is, it sounds good too. Like it all sounds really good. That's so addicting. That's such a fun sound. The V6 just sounds really smooth, frankly. It doesn't have that like lawnmower sound that you get out of a lot of, you know, V6s. It sounds like a really nice sports car. And I can't get over that. Anyways, yeah, summing things up. In terms of the convertible, I like it actually. Insulation's really solid. It's really windy today. It's always windy down here anyways. It's really well insulated, comfortable, handles great, and yeah, this V6 powertrain, and especially with the rise of gas prices, this might be the route to go. Because, you know, the car's gonna be less expensive, but then on top of that, it's gonna, you know, not go through nearly as much fuel as the V8. But again, if you drive it how I was driving it, then yeah, you might go through as much fuel as the V8, frankly. Yeah, fun car, really like it. And you know, yeah, V6, super underrated. That's gonna sum things up for our video on this F-Type. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Land Rover / Jaguar here in Lehigh, Utah for giving me some time with this F-Type. Check out the inventory in the description down below. I'll see you guys.